week, they will be battling. And, potentially how it goes, we might even have a tiebreaker between these two teams for locking in that fourth to third place seed, which, I mean, from what we've heard from Uncle and the Nest, from what we've seen from Uncle and the Nest, I think that both of these teams are looking to dodge this team in the first round if they can.
Yeah, you do not want to fight them in the first round. You want to get those 5 games. You need those extra time to really figure that team out. They're not the kind of team you want to jump in, first round of the playoffs and have your season end early, because that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm not in the game this time.
Oh shoot, I'm trolling you. Okay. I'm
Okay, it's okay.
share. Yeah,
It's fine.
I do have my shared
I could
up,
just
correct?
watch it on this screen. Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. We're good. I'll just maximize it. There you go. And that way I'm not looking off to the side like a weirdo.
All right, yeah, and Quentin, that's something that I've been. Once we switched to a four-team league, I was kind of figuring out how the playoffs were going to go. But yeah, it will be the 4-week league. There will be a week break for week 5, and then looking for confirmation from teams competing. But then that following week, the weekend of June 19th, will be our finals weekend where we have 2 best of 3s played on that Saturday, and then the winners will go on to a best of 5 that Sunday. Looking at some of the bands now that we have, the Zed coming through, Vin Arvel, something that we've seen him play quite often, and then Diana Morgana coming through. You gotta believe those are targeted at Mocha Mexican, absolutely cracked on this jungle with the Volibear, Udyr, and Malphite taken away, but Frost Unbreakable on his signature pick, the Sejuani, picked up first.
Yeah, and you don't see much people picking Sejuani first pick, but when it's in the hands of a man like Frosty Unbreakable, the team captain, the man that's telling everybody what to do, this man is frightening on this pick. So you have to really second guess the champion when it's in his hands.
Yeah, and
And
Mango. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
the season I got to gold, actually, I started playing Sejuani because of him. So, and I think I had like a 70% win rate or something like that on Sejuani. The champion is just so strong, man. When you can just become a beast frontliner and have all that CC, what more could you ask for out of the jungle role?
Yeah, and speaking of CC, following up on that, you do have Leona coming through for the side of the Dino Nuggies, and Yokimoto jumping back on this Gnar pick. Interesting enough, the Renekton was left open. I thought that this would be a pick that Yokimoto would trend back towards. We did see an impressive performance coming out of him, and it looks like World War II Penguin finally getting off of tank duty. Played a lot of the Malphite, but that was banned, and Scion, and been on those exclusively. Finally moving over to a carry pick, jumping on World War II Penguin, and Champagne Shower will be filling in this game for I am Artie. Unfortunately, power out in his area. So a last minute sub coming through. Big shout out to Champagne Shower ADC of Uncle and the Nephews being able to come out and step up, playing the mid lane. And another pick that's gotten through yet again, the Lucian. Lucian would Lucian very strong early game pick, and we'll have to see if Champagne Shower is able to replicate what we just saw Benjamin Zipper do with it as Mocha Mexican does lock in the King.
Yeah, and I love the Kane pick. It's hit or miss for him, so I'm hoping it's more of an up game, because when he is on, and he is running through the jungle and ready to slice your face off. But you also run that risk of the 1 in 10 Kane. So it's a very feast or famine champion. I do like the Mordekaiser. It got the buff. So I want to see what it can do. And the Morgana ban, I'm wondering if that's going to fall off after these recent nerfs to her. So I want to see if maybe next week and into the playoffs we can get rid of that ban and open it up for something else.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things about how the playoffs set, like obviously barring any changes, is that in taking the week off after our week 4, that will be the new patch. So coming into that next week, which would be week 6 for our playoff run, teams will have had a week to practice on the new patch, to experiment, to find stuff that works, and we can see a whole different set of champions that are just powerful, just based on the time that teams have had to practice on the new patch, as the Tristana band coming through, as well as the Nautilus, Senna. Senna really strong, already showing, or not showing the bot lane, not showing anything. The Senna Tom Kench, definitely a really strong lane, as always. and just making sure that that's not being able to play it. The Champagne Shower, maybe listening to the broadcast a little bit from our last game, we were saying, Syndra, they did a really good job in handling that last game, but one of the counters that could definitely make this Lucian pick very tough.
Yeah, and I want to see if someone can shut down this Lucian, because if it pops off again this game, it has to already be a must ban. But if it pops off this game, you have to ban it against everyone in the league. There's just sometimes those picks are just too OP. I'm having flashbacks of Camille when she first came out. You just can't. There's nothing you can do into it, man. You just got to get rid of it. So I'm excited to see what it can do this game.
Oh wow, and that is a Vayne to lock it. Obese Penguin taking on the entire team and saying, hey guys, don't worry, I will play a pick that making sure we can get through this Leona, we can get through this Gnar, use the Condemn to get him out of the picture if he is able to jump in. And really excited to see how the Vayne, this is the first Vayne that we have seen in the ULS. And Mythos stepping up on the Galio, putting on his Black Wando impression, and it looks like it will be the Xerath in the mid lane. Vinar Vel had a pretty good showing on it against the uncle and the nephews. The big difference between that game was the Orianna was just so massive. It was so hard for him to be able to be in this fight. I feel like every time he'd walked up, he'd get combo down by this Orianna and would have to just completely reset. So really interested to see what this comp can do with the Xerath, with the Jhin. They do have the long range poke, and then with the Leona, the Gnar, and the Kayn, they should have some pretty good front line as well as engage. So really excited to see how both of these teams are able to put it together. But I mean, just a lot easier CC to perform on the side of Uncle and the Nephews. Both of these comps very strong.
No.
Right? Or my apologies, double Umacorns.
Yeah, and I want to see something other than the Jhin here. I mean, it's just there's less tanks than the last game yesterday. It was just tough for him to get through that front line, and the mobility is definitely not there, but the long range poke is. So I want to see if you're going to be taking these picks like the Xerath and like the Jhin. I want you staying back, getting your farm and then poking people out from there, not trying to step up and be all up in the fight when you are the long range poke.
Yeah, it looks like somebody going in on Dino Nuggies. There are still believers in chat in the Dino Nuggies, and definitely, like we've been saying, this team has been, they've been improving. They've been making strides, and, it's only a matter of time until they're able to put together a win. And, the question is, will this be the game? And if it's going to be any game, why not this one? Why not the game that will propel you out of the spot that has you matching up against Uncle and the Nephews in round one? Taking a look at some of these other picks going on, quite a bit of a lot of AP on the side of the double Umacorn. So I do like the pickup of the Vayne. You have constant damage in the double 80 carries, so a pretty good damage mix on their side. But I look at that team, and my question is, who's going to get onto the Xerath? Because Sejuani, yes, with an ultimate, charge ultimate, perhaps, but other than that, if this Xerath is able to play well, I feel like he will be so hard for them to get on top of, because they just don't have snap engage. They don't really have that delivery system. Charge flash on the Sejuani and the Galio ult, maybe, but that's an engage that's not it's not guaranteed every time, and it's every 5 minutes just for that flash to be up. This Xerath should have no problem hanging back and just poking down the enemy team, before they're able to get just a hard engage off on them.
I'm also excited to see this top lane matchup, because like you said, we've seen him on the tanks. We've seen World War II on the tanks. We were starting to get some snooze fests up there in the top lane, but they're like, here we go, we're gonna throw our boy a bone. We know he's a carry. Let's throw him on the Mordekaiser, and it could be really good into the Gnar. But if the Gnar plays it right, he could stay back, poke you out, build up those grass procs, get tanky, and just it can be a nightmare. It can be an absolute nightmare in that lane. So I'm really excited to see how that skill matchup goes in the very early parts of the game. Because if he kills him early when he's in mini, the game's absolutely over. So it's going to be very early game dependent up there in that top side of the map.
Yeah, and it looks like we are rolling into the start of this game. 5 seconds until we are loaded in, and I am ready. You know, this game just as impactful as that first game we have of the day, and I'm looking forward to see if if the double Umacorns are going to be able to keep the Dino Nuggies at further than an arm's length, if the Dino Nuggies will be able to overcome and put together just everything that they've learned this season and turn it into a win.
Yeah, and if you're a storyline guy like me, I'm rooting for the underdogs here. I want to see that tiebreaker, I want to see what happens here at the end and give everyone that shot to really prove themselves when it really matters.
Yeah, tiebreakers are honestly one of the best things that could happen in League of Legends and just make it really fun, especially going into that last week. You think you played all the games that need to be played, and just having those extra games, when I'm watching LCS, when I'm watching LEC, those are the storylines. Like, even if they're teams I haven't even been following, just the fact that there are those tiebreakers, the fact that there's more League of Legends to watch, always very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it could be my team, and sometimes I catch myself, rooting against them, so I could see that tiebreaker because I just, I got that faith in my team. They're always going to pull it out. So, as a fan, you definitely like to see it, but I mean, then again, we got friends on every side here, and you never want to see anyone lose. You just want to see a good game out of these guys.
Yeah, and it looks like they will have the 5-man invade at the red buff. Kane looking to start at the Raptor camp. It looks like they do have an idea of it. Let's see what this turns into. Mocha Mexican now sees Frost Unbreakable, now sees the rest of the team, but should just be able to walk out and, just a little bit of keeping each other in check here as everyone should be returning back to their lanes and things go back to normal.
Yeah, and we're gonna see some fights here in the bot lane because we got the Project Sejuani, we got the Project Vayne. We need to get her ahead, so I'm hoping he keeps them down there, and we could see those beautiful skins together and see what they can do.
Yeah, and speaking of beautiful skins, Mango on a beautiful Leona skin. That one just absolutely kills me. Her skewer with the sausage on it is just busts me up every time.
Makes you want some lunch, I'll say that.
That is for sure, man. That is for sure. Excuse me as I rearrange our players here, get them in the right spots. Alright, perfect.
If you're going to have a sub off roll, why not throw the ADC on the Lucian, It just makes sense.
Exactly. This Lucian pick so good because, you could take us, right-clicking players, and we just get to click some more. We can play mid lanes. We get to click some more, and Xerath just having a tough time as we would expect in this early stages of the game. Lucian just absolutely taking over, but this Xerath, something to note, did go for the Doran's Ring as well as the potion with passive. He actually is able to stay relatively healthy, as far as his mana pool goes, and with being able to go double pots, but I mean, both those pots already blown here.
Yeah, and he's so mana dependent early, and he's gonna have to give up some of this farm, and that's okay. It's okay to go down 10 farm early here as Xerath and just not die and not have to back and lose all that experience.
Yeah, and a good stun lands is Mocha Mexican looking for a gank here. Will get the flash out of Champagne Shower, and that's a big cooldown. Down for when you're playing an ADC in the mid lane, very vulnerable, still very squishy, and that's now a lane that Mocha will be able to return to. Great roam on his part, but taking that time to roam does mean that Frost Unbreakable, who did go for the full clear, will be up in CS here. Did not have to spend that time and able to move up and take this top scuttle.
Yeah, Thomas is always so great about using his time efficiently. If he can't be there, he's not gonna start running there for no reason. He knows to go get that crab and count on his teammates.
Oh, great flash! But a great flash followed by Frost Unbreakable. The Isla will come through. The flash followed by the Mordekaiser with first blood. goes over to the double Umacorns. That's Frost Unbreakable picking that up on the Sejuani.
And man, let me tell you, I've jungled against this guy, and he is an absolute beast. You know, you could be up, you could be making the plays, and it just takes him a half a second to turn everything around, and you're like, wow, where did he come from?
Yeah. Oh man, and speaking of that, here he comes. You know, the plays just don't stop. Remember, Vin Arvel still has the flash. It looks like they won't chase under the tower. One more auto would have done it. Champagne Shower already burning the flash. It means that he was not able to follow for that. But, I mean, Frost Unbreakable, you know, we talked about his early immigration. We talked about, hey, have these teams figured him out? You know, is he becoming too predictable? As it looks like he will run into Mocha Mexican over his race. Does smite the big crab, able to deny that from him and maintain the CS advantage he has over Mocha Mexican. As Mocha Mexican might be found out here, that is the taunt coming through. The Vayne will knock him up. Will the Condemn come through? No, it won't, but there's the Vayne flash immediately over the wall, but she gets body blocked to hell by these Krugs, absolutely locked up. Mythos won't be able to get the charge forward to get the taunt. The burn is coming through, and he does get the knockup. One more hit would do it. He dashes away, and Mythos picking it up with the taunt. Space Jabberwocky running for the hills, has to expend his flash himself. Leona charges in, but maybe she didn't want it. Condemned right into the wall. Vayne looking to pick up the kill, but that is a heal coming down from Space Jabberwocky, and that is a 1-for-1 in a very extended trade coming out.
Man, what a fight that was. Both teams just giving it their all, not giving up, you know. No one saying quits, no one thinking the other team had the best of them there, so they just kept going in. I really like to see that.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing there is that there are no flashes up in the game. So now it means that when someone is caught, when somebody is engaged on, they're just in it. And it's going to be, how are we able to turn that, you know? Looking to get this Galio to 6, trying to, you know, at least have that to fall back on with that grand entrance. But very aggressive play coming out of both these teams.
Yeah, another thing to keep an eye on, Vayne does not have heal. So there's no heal on the side of W Umacorns. I missed it last game, but there was no flash on Orin. So
Yes.
he did bring the exhaust. I mean, it's an interesting adaptation. So I'm just curious if this is going to pay off with the Leona and all that CC, you know. It definitely could come in handy a little bit more than the heal, because you can heal yourself all you want. If you're stuck in one place, they're going to kill you.
Absolutely. Leona with so much CC, that cleanse almost a requirement to have to take, especially with the Jhin able to follow it up with the Deadly Flourish and just combo you from 100 to 0 while you can't move. And here comes, I got a gank again. Vin Arvel has no flash. The Culling will mop it up, and that's another kill going over to the side of double Umacorns. Frost Unbreakable is looking to be in top form today.
Definitely. This man is out here to play. People were questioning him, you know, even yesterday, even, you know, last week. Is this guy figured out, you know? Does he have one style? Does he have one, you know, one thing he can do? But, you know, we've really figured out. We hadn't even seen the Sejuani yet, you know. Everyone else was worried. I wasn't worried at all about this man. I knew he was going to bring it out. I knew we had a lot to be afraid of. All we've really seen is the Volibear, you know, and the Volibear is very good, but sometimes you just bring out that champion that's your baby. It don't matter where it's at that time, because you're going to do work on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just absolutely monster start for him in this jungle, you know, and that's going up against the Kayn. You know, this is the matchup that you would definitely put in the Kayn's favor, but able to get the advantage as he comes right back, hits level 6, and you got to think Vin Arvel is just dead again. They are just camping this mid lane. That's got to feel so bad for the side of Vin Arvel.
Oh, and man, this man is a presser sponge in the mid. He is definitely used to being ganked over and over again, but there's just nothing he can do here. He's not the Zed, you know. He can't W away, and
yeah,
that was a max range ult, man. You can't avoid that. That was just too clean.
Yeah, Mocha Mexican looking to go in, but the taunt from the Galio will keep him out, as well as the Condemn. Just stops just about everything. Mocha may be feeling a little bit of pressure to get things going, as that top red is taken away, and Yokimoto doesn't know it yet, but he's being moved on from the top side. Here they come around, wrapping through the tri-brush. Let's see if he can get out of this. Should be able to hop over the two of them, unless the hop is down, and that is just one dead Gnar, as Champagne Shower picks up his second kill of the game.
Man, Frost. This man in the jungle. Unbelievable. Like we were talking about champions you can't let people have. If you've done any research on this guy, you just know. I mean, he hasn't picked it yet, but this is one of his all-time best champions, and he is just out here to prove why that is.
No flash is still up on this bot side, looking like they're trying to go in on Space Jabberwocky, but we'll be able to get out. A good tumble to get out of the Leona. Snare there on her E, and I mean, this game already sitting at a 2K gold lead, and just flash on cooldown. Mocha Mexican in the area, but not able to do anything with it. That we'll have to back out. We'll be locked up here. Champagne Shower dropping the Ignite, picking up the double kill. That's 4-0 on this mid Lucian. And you know, we talked about it last game. This pick just can't be let through. This pick so strong, and I mean, Frost so aggressive. You know, that's the second time we've seen him use the flash onto the Xerath mid lane and just absolutely just slaughter him. You know, not the start that the Dino Nuggies would have wanted. We'll have to see if they're able to come back. They've already got themselves in a 3K gold deficit 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough to come back from, but, you know, you always just want to play it out. You know, you can always learn something from the game. So take the state it is in now and go, what can we do to, you know, keep it even as it is or make it better? You just don't want to be taking any more L's, you know, because as of right now, a 1-for-1 trade is in your favor. So if you're not getting at least a 1-for-1 trade, you need to leave it alone and just try to farm up. Otherwise, you're not going to have a chance.
Exactly, and you know, much like Uncle Tizzy was saying in the chat, as we do see World War II Penguin just ulting in Yokimoto there in the top side. Obese Penguin locked up by the Leona there, will be grabbed by the long Leona E. The curtain call coming down. That 4-shot might be able to find him, and it doesn't. Oh, and they're so low. There goes Mango actually picking up the double kill. Leona W going off, and just, I believe that was with the Aftershock as well to lock up those 2 kills.
Yeah, the Aftershock there just kept him alive, and that Kane ult there was very clean by Moco Mexican. And this guy's been a top performer on his team, so, you know, you like to see him perform on the Kane because it is so hit or miss, but, man, when it is there, and he can really perform. So I want to see if they can bring this game back, you know, you just make it close and then go from there. I mean, they've already closed the gold gap by almost 1,000 gold, so.
Yeah, that's right. That gold lead now sitting at about just 2.3K. You know, these are the plays we were talking about. Slowing it down. Let's look for the numbers advantage. Let's look for ways to chip into this gold lead. Find ways to get at it. And, you know, while you're at it, slow down this Vayne, who at some point, you know, yeah, this Lucian, absolutely massive. But this Vayne will be an absolute menace in the mid to late game if she's able to just farm and scale it up.
Yeah, the scaling is definitely, I give it to the side of the double Umacorns. So the fact that they do have this lead early, it is going to be tough, but you just got to play it out. There's not much more you can do here.
Yeah, and Mocha Mexican just might be found out here, but here comes the Galio ulti just to make sure that everything is taken care of. Champagne Shower 6-0-1. At this point, I'm questioning, it's got to just be the pick right. Lucian can't keep getting away with this. 6 kills, up 30 CS, you know, being an absolute menace. 2,400 gold lead at 12 minutes as they will drop this Rift Arrow down in the mid lane and just make sure everyone's pockets get just a little heavier before they're able to take this back. I don't know that this tower will go down. They're definitely going to give it just about everything they can and will drop it at that last second. That's 12.5 minutes for first tower going down. You know, and Uncle Tizzy, you know, I couldn't help but agree as well. You know, it's really just the pick, you know, gotta be.
Yeah, and you know the pick is really strong, but you got to think of it like you see the ADC main coming in as a substitute for the mid lane. You got to ban that ADC. It's just too strong to begin with, and then you're letting the ADC play in his comfort zone. You know, you wanted to throw that man on a Syndra. You wanted to throw that guy onto a Katarina, something you could just really shut down early and try to take advantage of that. And it's kind of unfortunate they didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, too, is you handshake the Xerath into it. You know, the Xerath is, yes, he can be really strong late game as Mocha Mexican looking to make another play on the bot side. The taunt will come through, and that's an early TP. The great Leona ultimate to lock up the Vayne. Her cleanse is not up yet, and she just drops Space Jabberwocky, able to pick on that one. Mako trying to make sure his team can stay on top, but he will be ulted and pulled into the death realm. Will they be able to stay on him? The flash to make sure he does not get knocked up by Rost W. And that is a 2-for-1 on the side. It looks like Mocha Mexican wants just a little bit more. It does still have the ultimate. Space Jabberwocky move it in, and they do pick up that kill. The ultimate from Sejuani going just a little bit wide, but it looks like she wants all of the smoke. Not able to go over the wall. Already use that charge, try to close the distance, and that flash will not be used to chase into the fountain.
You know, Space Jabberwocky over here just trying to prove me wrong on this gen pick, you know. He said, you know, I don't even need the W here. I'm just going to, you know, hit him with my 4th shot and see what happens.
Yeah, looking absolutely, you know, just great on this gen. And, you know, Space Jabberwocky, definitely someone that's been struggling to find their footing in these best-of-1 games. And it's great to see him come out and have a game like this on the gen. You know, 204 has the gold on his team, does have the advantage here. You know, one of the big advantage points is that mid gold gap has grown to 3,000 gold. But the area that they have that advantage in is the bot lane. You know, 700 gold up over Obese Penguin right now, and a lead that they need to look to build on and make sure that they're getting just about everything they can out of this gen. Oh, it's Frost Unbreakable flashing right in. Here comes your Galio delivery service that I talked about. Mocha Mexican does not have the ultimate. Tries to run for the hills, but will be picked up by Obese Penguin, and that is a shutdown going into his pockets. That is a lot of gold onto the Vayne, and this is the pick that we were talking about. You need to try to slow down, but with the jungler picked up, that's Baron, or Dragon for the side of the double Umacorns.
Yeah, and that's not who you wanted to see get that kill, man. Vayne is the late game carry. She is going to be, you know, the super carry freak at the end. So the longer you kept her down, the better, because your bot lane is playing so well. Yeah, it's tough to see.
World War II Penguin does just ult Yokimoto under the tower. He flashes right into the pullback, gets pulled in, and that is a solo kill for World War II Penguin, taking the challenge of playing this carry, playing a matchup that's not just one of these tanks in the top side, and just looking phenomenal on it.
Yeah, and that's exciting to see for playoffs, because I want to see what they do, you know.
Yeah, we do see Mythos flash forward. Will get right onto Space Jabberwocky, condemned into the wall, and you got to believe he is just dead. Obese Penguin picking up that kill. Not able to track down the Leona, but you've taken out their power point on the side of Dino Nuggies, and now this gold lead ballooning back up, now to 4,500 gold lead, 16.5 minutes in.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I'm excited for playoffs for this team. They've gone through the most roster changes. They've been through the ringers, so I'm hoping maybe in playoffs all that experience with all these different players is going to pay off, and they can make something happen like they did in the
Benarvel just getting too greedy for the pink ward. Doesn't know that Champagne Shower is in the area. Only had the mana for the E and enough to take down the Xerath.
What a great Mordekaiser skin, too.
Yeah, you know, Project, I'm still excited to see this Project Mordekaiser. I've heard it just absolutely melts computers as far as the ultimate goes. But looks pretty dang cool. I mean, this Vayne now sitting on 2 kills. She was shut down. And it looks like this game just slipping away from the side of Dino Nuggies. As, you know, these picks, like the Xerath, needs to scale up, but just this Lucian really able to exploit some early game weaknesses. As Yokimoto might have gone just a little too far there. Does walk right on top of Sejuani. Sejuani does lock him up. Mocha Mexican does look to get the knock up as Yokimoto stunned up. And here Champagne Shower does have the calling. Will pick him up. Flashes forward. Will he be able to take down Mocha Mexican? Benarvel is in the area as well. But Yokimoto just extending just too far there into the enemy jungle. Looks like they just want to pick up the scuttle and perhaps back out. But he falls on the backside of that.
Okay, hear me out. So is he not experienced enough on the Lucian to know that you can stop your ult? Or was he just flexing on him saying, look, I'll just hold my ult here, mister, you're not going nowhere?
You know, just looking at how he's been playing the game, I think it was more of a flex, you know. Probably didn't think that he would be able to chase over the Kayn, you know, once he had gotten over the wall. but definitely just, you know, you're still going to run away from me. As the TP does come in behind, Yokimoto is here. The flash does get them out of the Leona ultimate, but that is a 4-shot coming through from the curtain call, able to pick it up, and they find 2 kills on the bot side. A great response on the bot side of the map after top had gone so terribly for them.
Yeah, they're not giving up, man, and you got to respect these guys for that. You know, they're not sitting in base letting these guys take towers. You know, they're not running it down mid. They're saying we're here to play. We know where our strength is, and it's bot.
Yeah, and now that does mean the Rift Herald will be dropped in the top side. We'll have to see if Vinarvel will be able to clean this up and make sure that it does not get too crazy. Frost Unbreakable might be caught out here, but does find space. Jabberwocky separated from the rest of the team. Might just combo him 100-0. Not able to use the Gale Force to escape, and Yokimoto able to get the shutdown onto Frost Unbreakable. As Champagne Shower might have to be careful here, and Kane just pops. Yokimoto goes Mega, but that is the double kill coming through for the side of Champagne Shower. 10-0-2 on this Lucian, and this pick is absolutely popping off today.
Yeah, guys, we got to get rid of this pick, okay? Anyone else that lets this pick through on blue side, you're just trolling. And that's not what we want to see. We do not want to see Lucian again for the rest of the season, please.
Yeah, this pick just an absolute force, you know. And AJD's point, yeah, he said, hey, Frost did not get caught out. He was catching out 3 people by himself. And, you know, as much as I wish I could sit here and be like, no, you know, that was a tough engage. But with the lead, he does have level 12, out levels everybody on the side of the Dino Nuggies. This Lucian level 13, World War II Penguin level 13. You know, these guys are just massively ahead. You know, taking a look now at the gold, 4,000 difference in the mid lane. Your bot lane still sitting at about that 700 800 as Leona will walk up to steal away the blue, but was it worth your life as Obese Penguin claims the blue as well as the kill. Yokimoto does go into the death row, but hits the Mega. World War II Penguin has to flash out. Mocha Mexican already using the E to get through, and here comes the Xerath ultimate trying to narrow down World War II Penguin spot. You're just pulling him on top of you, buddy, as Yokimoto's able to pick that up. That does mean that will be sole point for the side of the double Umacorns as they look to lock in this Infernal Soul in about 26 minutes.
Oh yeah, man, and
you think me, Mocha Mexican just caught out, and he has the ultimate to try to stay safe. Tries to get out, the culling won't be enough. One more shot from the vein would do it, and he's able to pick that up on the backside. They're just sieging in. 20 minutes, Baron's up, but who needs Barons when we can just run our gold lead down your throat? Xerath is able to clean that up. That is Vinarvel playing the Xerath, and just tough showing coming out from Champagne Shower. Maybe one of the spicy things, and excuse me, Frost Unbreakable going in with Mythos. Mythos is a two-man taunt. Yokimoto trying to back out, and Mango trying to do everything he can to keep his team alive. Mythos getting blocked as we do see Mango going down on the backside, and Yokimoto just might fall as well. The Galio ulti coming in just a little bit later. Frost Unbreakable might have gone just a little bit too deep as the pickup does come on the Xerath, but that ultimate will lock him down and will pick him up. Champagne Shower will not drop to that tower shot on the backside. That is two people getting away with sub 50 health on the side of their ADCs. Two massive shutdowns. So that is 1,000 gold if they're able to get on top of the Lucian. 600 gold if they're able to get on top of the Vayne, but both able to get out with their lives.
Man, this Sejuani is disgusting, okay? So, you don't see everything that Thomas is doing here. He's diving the tower. He's tanking for days. He's seeing the main carries with fadeaway ults. This man is just unstoppable. This champion is just... It's too much to handle when you have someone like that controlling it.
Yeah, and you know, just really great from the side of the double Umacorns to make sure that they're able to, you know, if they lock up this win, that is another game to where they have that 2-game separation, and you know, they will be locked in to this third place seed. This does mean that if they're able to close out here, as Baron has started, they will be playing against the boys in round 1, you know, and yeah, it sucks having everything figured out, you know, right before the week's over. Zera's ultimate will come in just a little bit too late, not able to find anything on the backside. Yokimoto needs to be careful. He might just get caught out here. He locked up by everything, and he is just gone. Mythos picking up that kill. Champagne Shower. Gale Force is in, looking for all the smoke onto Mango. Mango trying to get away, but here comes the calling drop. Minions are keeping him alive, but the slow coming in for the Sejuani. Champagne Shower now 12-0-6 on this Lucian. Absolutely smurfing. Picks up Mango on the backside, and Yokimoto just caught out again.
This game is getting out of hand, but these fights have been so entertaining, man. I do not see people play tanks like this anymore, man. And this is what you love to see. This is that season 8, you know, season 9. I'm gonna just out tank you and just I'm gonna put all the playmaking on my jungle's hands, and I like to see it.
Yeah, and after picking up that inhib tower, they're able to just roll straight to the top side. And Mocha Mexican's got to be careful here because this team does not know boundaries. They are just going in onto whoever and whomever they can catch. Leona going in. Let's see where the ultimate drops, as we do see World War II Penguin dropping on the backside. That is Mythos falling. Frost Unbreakable hit by that forward shot, but not enough to take him down. Let's see if they will be able to close the distance. Does have the Dead Man Stone Plate. Does have one Cloud Drake. I mean, you're not getting moving speed from that, but just something fun to mention. Well, with that Dead Man should be enough to make sure he gets out of that.
Yeah, exactly. And they just went too deep there, you know. You get excited. They took the tower with no minions. They said minions who? We have Baron buff. We don't need you. We don't care. We're here to take your base.
Yeah, and just putting on an absolute clinic on these picks this game. We'll have to see what the Dino Nuggies are thinking now because, you know, Dragon's coming up in just a little under a minute. And, you know, are we going to be able to fight them there? You got Scuttle coming up. Look at the side of the map. There are 2 wards down that aren't inside the Baron pit for the side of Dino Nuggies, and none of them are around this Dragon area. It looks like they will move down here now to try to ward that up. But Leona's left in base. You need her on the map to ward. You're not going out and you're not getting these, you're not getting, you know, maximum value. How are you supposed to fight this Baron? This Dragon, if you guys aren't even here? Their one ward on this side of the map just got swept away. You know, Leona finally arriving to the party, but now double Umacorns have already set up shop and are just negating any vision that they want to set down.
So there's 2 things I've really taken from these last 2 games, and it's, you know, don't let Lucian through. You know, the Galio, okay, 3 things. The Galio, probably shouldn't let the Galio through. It's good. And vision control, man. Vision control wins games. So it's the little things, you know. It's that one time you get the TP and you get the ace and you get to push all the way through their base, you know. Oh, there's the flash.
Yeah, Benarville does have to get the flash, and that is the ulti from the Sejuani coming down on the Mocha Mexican. Vayne will just go right in on the back line, but Spade Jabberwocky able to win that 1v1 as the rest of the team is falling on the front line. The Kolic will just go down. The quadra kill comes through for Champagne Showers, and they're sieging onto the towers.
What a game. What a game. I'm glad to see Champagne Showers back. I wish we could have seen him on something other than the Lucian, but, you know, it was exciting. It was exciting, and I bet you he's just feeling really good after these last 2 games.
Yeah, and, you know, that's a 26.5-minute win coming through from the side of the double Umacorns. Just absolutely, you know, just an absolute showing coming out from Champagne Shower here on this Lucian, looking just as fearful as it did the last game.
Yeah, and Frost, man, I mean, the Lucian had the score line, but it was the jungler there, man. He put him in position to just run over the game, you know. I mean, obviously, you couldn't just have nobody in there on the or anybody in there on the Lucian and have that happen, but without that jungler, man, that just wasn't going to happen like that. Vin Ravel is just not that kind of guy to get ran over, you know. He's scary on the Zed for a reason, and they just really were like, hey, we're not going to let you farm. We're not going to let you get experience. You're dead every time you're here, and when I have flash, you better believe I'm coming, and I'm going to use it on you.
Yeah, and it definitely looked like it was, you know, it looked like it was, that was the strategy. You know, this Xerath pick is someone that can scale up into a late game monster, but able to just stay on top of him there and able to excuse me, able to, keep the Xerath down and just not only the Xerath, but moving to the top side, making plays, not as many plays made in the bot side, but really affecting these solo lanes and, being able to get to these dragons as his team needed. Just really great showing from Frost and Breakable. And it looks like he's hitting his form just as we get close to playoffs.
Yeah, and I gotta say the bot lanes in both these games were some of the best matchups. I mean, it was so back and forth in both lanes. Even when the game was just out of hand and gonna be over, both these bot lanes were fighting back, and I really like to see that. In this one specifically, Space Jabberwocky, impressed me. I wasn't expecting the Jin to do much. I was expecting him to sit there, stand still, and just die over and over and over again. And he proved me wrong, and I like to see it.
All right, and we will have Frost Unbreakable here joining us for an interview to
The
talk about
man.
that win from the side of the double Umacorns. Just a really amazing performance coming out of him in this game, and looking forward to seeing what he has to say.
Definitely. I definitely have some questions to ask this guy.
All right, and we are joined here by Frost Unbreakable, captain of the double Umacorns. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Hey, man, can't
Fantastic.
complain.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was really fun. We actually had some good rotations there. Had good vision coverage. I just felt like our pressure was like we had just good pressure all around the map, other than the bot lane. But they're playing weak side, so we just kind of had to let them sack it for a minute.
Yeah, you're playing the vein. I mean, you're not coming in planning to win the game in the bot lane in 5 minutes. You knew where you had to be. You said, okay, Mr. Zerath, you're not farming. I'm going to use
Hmm.
my flash on you every time. And, man, it just really impressed me. I
Oh,
just like those engages over and over again. You get in someone's head and you got to keep coming back.
oh man, it's like Z said. Like as soon as he blew his flash, that's kind of like my favorite thing. Looking at those immobile to mobile, like if we have the mobile mid laner and the immobile mid laner blows his flash and he barely pushes up, I can still stand behind the Raptor pit as long as I have passive on Sejuani. They're probably gonna die 9 out of 10 times because I'm gonna get my passive stacks up and just reset, stun him, and he's not moving. So
Man, I love the champion, so I was really excited to see it. I'm the low key Sejuani man, even though I don't like jungle, and it's just the way you pilot this champion, man. You convinced me to play this champion a few years ago, and every time I watch you play, man, I'm like, okay, I'm hopping in a Sejuani game after this,
well,
So I'm glad you
right
brought
now
it out.
she's like so back. I think season 8 she was just a big tank with the perfect amount of engage and disengage with not too much cooldown. But now they've given her so much damage with her E and her what's it called? Her just breaks on her passive. So when you double stack that, people are like, oh, a Lee Sin or a Kha'Zix can beat her. It's like, well, if I have 50% health and you're a little lower and I have aftershock up, you're gonna die every time because I'm not gonna be afraid to take that trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking over at the general side of things, congratulations on that win. That win does lock you into third place, and at third place, that is the matchup against the boys.
Hmm.
Unfortunate, like I was saying, that we do have everything kind of set in stone before we really enter into this last week. But what does it mean for you guys to be able to avoid this fourth place spot, avoid any potential tiebreakers, and potentially have to see the team Uncle and the Neffs before the finals.
So we're still confident we could beat Uncle and the Neffs. I mean, it's gonna be a close game, but like we just have to. I feel like we have to get things like locked down. We can't be making these easy mistakes that like because as you saw in that previous game we played against them, we even though we were down um what probably five or six kills, but we had all the dragons and we had really good like coverage on everything.
Mm.
I think we just took bad fights, and if we could have just locked down that last dragon somehow or just gave it and then went for another drag where we had more vision, we might have had that. And then if we could build off that and I think we got beaten draft too because I got I got focused on that draft, and I probably should have broke out the Hecarim into that pick. I just wasn't. I thought the Skarner would be a lot better pool lockdown comp, but I think the Hecarim would have been a lot better engaged into that to keep him, and then we could have just hard engaged on that. So I think we just have to draft better and just like I said, get better vision coverage, and I think we have a chance to beat them. But going against the boys, I'm really confident. I really want to fight those guys. I won't because we've beat them before. We've had good games before, so I just want to show that we can still keep up with these guys and show that we can just give them a little smack or two.
Oh yeah. I definitely think you guys are still at the top of the table here. It's just that 1 week without you, man, really brought your team down and really showed why you're the shot caller here and why they depend on you so much. And your champion pool, I don't like the Skarner, you know. Like I know it's
Hmm.
a pull comp, but you are just so pivotal to your team. I like the Hecarim. I like the Sejuani. I like those engaged style champions that can also disengage because they count on you so much, you know.
Hmm.
So I'm excited for playoffs. It's going to be
Dude,
exciting.
I appreciate it, man. I'm really excited for playoffs too. I'm hoping we can get some dubs there. We can pull out some wins and maybe turn it around for that first place seed. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's money at stake here, boys. We're not just playing for pride. I mean, pride is one thing, but there's some
Right?
ducats on the line here. So I know y'all are coming out to play.
Oh, we're always trying to get in there and just show our best. To be honest, we go into this every game we go into. We're trying to show up, and I mean, when we lose these games, we're trying to see what we could have did better, what we could have improved on, because it just makes us upset when we're like, why'd we get stomped like that? What can we make better? What can we fix? Can we rotate better? Do we need to stop objectives? What do we need to do? We're always thinking these other things, so we're trying to improve. We're trying to get better, and I think like you said, I think we still have a chance. So we're gonna give her the best shot we can at this point.
Yeah, my mom always did say, show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. So I like that you guys are hopping in there, doing your VOD reviews and saying we're here, we're not gonna roll over to Uncle and the Neffs. So excited to see that one again for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the last things I kind of want to point out. So, a breakout player that we didn't get to see in the first show match, where the boys dropped all three of their games. I know I keep going down back to the storyline, but just really standing out to me is what is your opinion on the jungler Iridescent Poro? Coming into this, it was really I was like, hey, Frost Unbreakable and GDI and Mocha, I see really just coming in here and taking
Mhm.
over. And we thought it was going to be Dick Long at the jungle, but bringing
Yeah.
in Iridescent, has the boys looking like a completely different team, has them looking
Mhm.
completely focused. And in your guys' game yesterday, one of the big things they were able to do was limit the impact that your Volibear had, and that was
Yeah.
really really impressive to me. So with this being your matchup going in, and we'll probably have some more playoff questions for you guys a little later, but what does this look like for you? Like, what is the preparation again, without giving away like any team strategies or anything like that, but going up against just a up and coming jungler like Iridescent Pora, who's really just
Think
kind of taken this league by storm.
Hmm. So I think um I think he's a really good jungler. He rotates good. He has a good, but I haven't really got a good feel for him because I feel like in that game they just had the better ward coverage and better draft on that, so they could move into my jungle, track me wherever I want. So at that point, if I go to mid, gank mid, it wasn't just backup from the Iridescent Poro. It was the Galio coming and then the TP from the top laner, which is good on their rotations. But I'm trying to see if we can get an even matchup here and get a feel on a like where we get the decent draft off here, and we actually feel confident with our draft, and we can just match up with them, and I can kind of feel them out because I'm hoping, I feel in my gut that I can get a little edge on him, but I feel like it's really close between me and him. But we're like I said, we just need to prep better by just better ward coverage, taking smarter fights, not dying when objectives are coming up. We got to play smarter, and I think that's what we really need to work on here.
Yeah, and I can't help but agree. And one last question from me. I'll open the floor to Seymour if he has anything else. But what's going to be that score for that first week of playoffs against the boys? What's
The
going to be that
boys,
match score?
I'm thinking it's probably gonna be close. Like I think it's like same this game, except it's gonna be like 30-28, or like it might be bloody, it might be like 40-43, like
Give
both
me, give me,
sides. Like
give me the wins. Is it? Are you guys sweeping? Are you 2-0 in? Is it gonna
I
be a
think
two
I think
one?
it's I think it's gonna be because it's best two out of three, right? So it's
Yes, yes, for
I think it's
semis.
I think it's 2-1. I think it's 2-1 us, because once we can get a feel for him, I think we can do it. But it's going to depend on the draft. Depending on the draft, and if we can get what we want, get what we need, I think we can 2-1 them.
All right. Hey, I finally got an answer out of one of these guys that the PR person will probably have some words for you. You know, I get the clickbaits on my videos, but hey, I'm glad we got one of them answered today.
Dude, we're here to bring the spice, man. This is all what it's about, man. We're here to make something a little exciting here, create some rivalries, you know.
And this is why we love you as a player, man, because you come into the game the same way, man. You said, I'm here to kick ass, take names, and you're gonna remember me, man. You're gonna remember me, and I'm not gonna always be the politest, but I'm gonna be here to tell you that I think we're gonna win, and I love that confidence.
Oh yeah, like I go into the game. Z knows this. I mean, you know it too, Ricky. I go into the game 1 speed. Even if I'm losing, I'll take a fight any day of the week. I don't care.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna
into the enemy buff, and we're gonna kill them.
We're gonna get ace, but sure as God sees it, we're getting 2 kills at least coming out of that. We'll lose Baron, but we got those 2 kills and shutdowns.
Yeah, it's not about their strength; it's about our strength. They may have got 5, but we got 2, and they better watch out.
You already know, my man.
All right, awesome, man. Well, thank you for taking the time for this interview, man. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, you too. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, our pleasure.
See you.
All right, bye.
Later.
Bye.